And joining us from Robert, Louisiana, is BP's Chief Operating Officer, Doug Suttles. Mr. Suttles, good morning.
Good morning, Maggie.
I want to start with what the Obama administration said about BP over the weekend. They said they've had enough of BP missing deadlines and not nipping this in the bud, and that if you can't handle it, that you should get out of the way. Are you willing to cede control to the federal government?
Maggie, the federal government does have ultimate control of this event. They can tell us to do that if they choose to do that. I think what we're seeing is a huge amount of frustration. We share it. I share the Secretary's frustration. I want this thing to stop. We want it to stop. The people who live here want it to stop. I'm doing everything we can. I don't know anything we could be doing that we aren't doing. We're getting lots of help from lots of places. The government is looking at what we do every day. They're providing experts as well. So I think it's this huge sense of frustration that we haven't been able to stop it yet.
Have you reached out to everyone who could potentially help you here? Are we to understand that the brightest minds in the world have not been able to come up with a way to cap this leak for the last 33 days?
Maggie, our company of the international oil companies does more ultra-deep water work than anybody. We have a huge number of experts, but we didn't stop there. We went out and got those from the other oil companies. We've gone to the government for the best and the brightest there. I don't know of anyone out there with expertise we haven't tapped into, and if we're there, if they're out there, we'll find them and we'll put them to work. This is a big, big challenge. I think Admiral Allen talked about it yesterday. It's trying to do this 5,000 feet under the sea is very difficult.
You say that ultimately the federal government has control, yet the EPA has asked you to switch. You're using these chemicals to disperse the oil, and they ask you to switch to something that they believe is less toxic, yet you have not done it. You're basically involved in a standoff with the EPA right now. Why not? If they have control, why not listen to what they want?
Well, we're not in a standoff with the EPA. What they told us to do is they said, we want you to find a less toxic, more effective chemical. And what we've done is been pursuing that request. We actually met again with them yesterday. And what we're finding is that some of the products that are out there just aren't available. They're not available now in the quantities. And some of the products that are on the list actually have long-term issues with them. We've shared the details of those with the EPA, and that's the reason we're not using those products. But we met again last night. We're continuing to look for alternatives. We want to find something if there is something out there that's better. But we actually believe this is a good product to use. It's widely used. It's been on the list for many years. But I'll tell you, if we can find something less toxic and more effective, we will put it to use.
Yeah, we know the EPA does have concerns about the product you're using. Lastly, I want to ask you to confirm that you will try this top kill strategy, this heavy mud and cement, to cap the well on Wednesday. And if so, when will you know if it has succeeded or failed?
If it actually works, we should know fairly quickly during the day. We intend to start the operation in the early hours of the morning. We want to do it in daylight for a lot of reasons, include the safety of those on the job. If it works, we should get the job complete that day on Wednesday. If it doesn't work, I should tell you we have other options. We're continuing to parallel every option out there, including to contain the flow and actually other options to stop the flow.
All right. Well, fingers crossed that Wednesday is the day. Doug Suttles, thank you.
Thanks, Maggie.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.